Hello there, I am Jeff Kramer, president of the Discount Vending Store. We are looking at an FEH vending machine by Fortune Resources. We are going to demonstrate how the motors work. Right now we have a cover on here. When we remove 4 screws on top and 4 screws on bottom, you'll be able to see the motors underneath. First off, I'm going to bring to your attention this guy over here where all the wires are. This is our motor board, and the motor board's job is to control all the motors of a certain section. In this case, we're talking about the drinks. There's also a motor board for each row of snacks and the entree machine if you have one, and also a coffee machine if you have one. If you have a situation where all of your motors are not working on a certain selection, whether it's a row of snacks or all of your drink motors are not working, chances are you have a bad motor board and you need to replace that. Replacing that is really easy. Once you take off the cover, it's just removing 2 screws over here, unclipping the different wires that go on there, and putting in a new motor board. Those boards can be purchased from the Discount Vending Store, or you can also get them from Fortune Resources. They're not very expensive. If you have a situation where one selection is not working, chances are it's just that motor that is out. The common thing that happens is, especially on the drinks, is a can or a bottle might get jammed when the vend is trying to occur, and it can strip out the gears in the motor. These motors can easily be replaced by removing 4 screws here and taking off that motor. In this case, those screws have already been removed, so we'll show you how to take that off. You unclip the wire right there, and it just comes right off, and you can put a new one back on it again. We have 2 different types of motors. The first type of motor is one that's going to do a half a revolution, so a 180-degree turn. We can see how that is done right here on B3. If you watch the pink knob here, you're going to see it's going to stop once this is over here. We have a sensor right here, a kill switch, that once the button is unpressed, it interrupts the cycle. I'll show you how that happens. Perfect, for 180 degrees. That happens on only 4 motors, these 4 bottle selections. The reason that we have a 180-degree revolution on those drinks is because inside there's an auger, and there'll be a can sitting here, and then there'll be a can in the back, and there's this divider which is in front that flaps back and forth. So it's going to do a half a turn, 180-degree revolution, dropping this can or bottle out, and then it picks one up in the back, and then it does another half a turn, and it drops that one out of the back. So it drops one from the front and the back, the front and the back. That is unique on those 4 selections only. On the number 1 and 2 selections, you'll see there's only 1 notch on the pink stub. That indicates that it's going to interrupt the cycle. The sensor here, the kill switch, is going to interrupt the cycle only once in the 360-degree revolution. There's a rocker in here that's designed to allow it kind of rocks back and forth, and it takes a full 360-degree revolution to get it to come out. It's the same thing with the snacks on top. The coil needs to turn 360 degrees. And if your motor down here goes out, you're gonna unscrew 2 of these little knobs on each side. When you do that, this will slide out, and you can then unscrew the motor. I'm just gonna set it back there for now. They're pretty easy to replace. But once again, it's a different motor. It only has the notch on one side instead of both sides. The last thing we need to talk about really quick is the sold out sensors. All of the drinks have sold out sensors. Your customers, when the door is shut, your customers can't see how much product is inside. Thus, we need to have a sold out sensor. This here is the flap door. When a product is in there, the flap is depressed, and there's a electrical connection. There's a signal that goes in between these two towers, which signifies to the machine that there's product in there. When product is all sold out, the flap goes like that and interrupts that signal. So if you ever have a case where your sold out sensors aren't working, it could be a setting on the board, or it could also be a bad sold out sensor down here. Or another thing that sometimes happens is the flap door might be off centered, and it might be pressing up against one of the two towers, in which case you would just need to move it, bend it back into place. That pretty much sums up the electronics on the drink selections of the FEH machine. Once again, it's pretty much the same setup with the NV 2020 and the RS 800-850 series. If you have any other questions, feel free to call us at 855-200-VEND or visit us at thediscountvendingstore.com. Thanks for visiting.